when the whole pandemic started, we were still doing quite all right because it was Chinese New Year season. However, once the holidays were done, we had a lot of big corporations cancelling their jobs, and that began to ring an alarm within us. The reality of it was business was really bad already by March, but we didn't really sort of feel it yet because we were quite busy. We were busy preparing for our halal auditing. When the figures came in mid of March, we knew we were in a very tough position, and then came the MCO. My lowest point was actually the first 2 days of MCO when I was figuring out what to do. And everybody didn't have anything to do, and we were just sitting in the office waiting for phone calls. That for me was one of the toughest situation that I was in, and then I had to think of something. It's our 10th anniversary this year. We were going to do something to, appreciate our clients, and we were trying to, go somewhere this year. I personally have been investing a lot of my own savings and everything, into the company. This year was the year that I kept believing that I would start reaping. But the whole thing was just thrown out the window, and I had to start thinking of how do I pay bills. And I think before the moratorium on the installment or loans were announced, I think that was on my mind, like how do I service these loans, or what can I do to ensure survival. And that really got me going in the sense of being emotionally being quite down. At the same time, you have to find a way to pick yourself up. So that was always a conflict going on every minute of the day, actually. Yeah. I went through the list of names of all my employees, and I started thinking, when the time comes, who will I need to release? And the truth was that everyone had a purpose. Everyone served a sort of a role, and it would be really difficult to function without them. And so so it was quite a painful thought to have to do that, and I also know what kind of wages I'm paying my employees. So my first thought is always to be, I want to make sure that they too can survive through this period of time. The truth was that I definitely felt alone because sometimes in these situations you look for help, right? You look for very practical help, and having somebody who has tons of money is a great support, but I don't have that kind of people around me. When I'm outside with my team, I had to portray a strong self. I had to show that we will overcome. I have to show that I have a plan. My staff have been with me for 8-9 years. Some of them, they can tell when it's busy and when it's not. And so I just had to make sure that they will come as well. So I had to be strong outside when I come home, or when I'm just even on FaceTime or with my wife and all that. I had to just calm down, and so it was always constantly a mood swing, or just a whole mixture of emotions. There was one day when Pastor messaged one of our groups, Pastor Kenneth, and the message was, how are you guys doing? How was everyone doing in the MCO? How are you coping with working from home and all that? I didn't know how to reply into the whole group chat, and I decided to just message Pastor separately and tell him, I said, it's been really challenging, and I really was praying for breakthrough, and there was that desperation, and I'm just really asking for hope in that sense as well. So I shared with Pastor very honestly, and so Pastor told me to pray, and we were still at the U-turn season at the time, and Pastor directed me to do the Lord's Prayer daily. In Mandarin, we say "ipu," one step at a time. It almost felt like the Lord's Prayer was like, I'll give you today my daily bread. And so it's like God's strength is sufficient for today. It's enough for today. That one step, take that one step first, and then tomorrow take another step. And truthfully, that was really how I had to put that word into the situation, whereby it was one product at a time. It was one strategy at a time. It was one sale at a time, one breakthrough at a time. And so, I mean, for me, I know that God is definitely going to deliver each and every one of us, or from different ones, from different situations. But my question was always, what is it? What was that one thing, or a few things that may first and foremost have be a God thing, like a favor thing. I think I start my day with, or I start a product with thinking to myself, how would people like it? More important, but more importantly as well, like what kind of favor do I have with in the things I do? So there are times when I pray for breakthrough and I wish somebody would have banged in wrong account number and I would get a big chunk. But the reality is that doesn't happen, and it's a lot of hard work, and I think part of me had to also be a cheerleader. I had to tell my team, encourage them, motivate them, and how do we work extra hard and then come up with new systems, and then we would have failures. We would have we would deliver the wrong thing, or have mix up, or logistics matters. And all those things were really discouraging. But I always felt that I would find favor. As long as we work hard, as long as you give your best in the things you do, then you can find favor. I feel like some days when I don't work hard enough and then mistakes happen, I actually feel bad, because I know that I could have avoided things. I think hard work is just going to be part of breakthrough. The truth is, things are, when you talk about revenue-wise, things are it's actually getting tougher, because even though the MCO or the CMCO is now in place, it just means that people have more options. People are moving around more. They don't stay home by law anymore. And people buy less because they are also trying to see different options and trying out new things. It's part of business, and that's why we came up with Mother's Day. We came out with Hari Raya packages, because I don't think the society is indebted to you in any way. They don't have to buy from you, but you have to provide value. One of our taglines is printed on all our t-shirts is actually keunggulan untukmu. And I actually take it from the verse that says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as though you're working unto the Lord. That's the spirit that I want, and I hope that Josh will carry. Yeah, it is two things. One is to be steadfast and be patient. Whether it's to be a product or whether it's a character, you've just got to slow down a little bit and stay the course. Do what you're good at, and then really being patient. If you were to start buying masks or start selling hand sanitizers and change things altogether, everybody wants to make money and be opportunists at a situation. But I think I learned that trusting God, when you want to trust God, these things are also important, to be steadfast and also be patient, to wait on Him and to see the breakthrough come, rather than try out everything and then trust God. While we are being flexible, or we are trying to adapt, there's also an element where you really need to trust God.